on, for more and more with Breakout and Baron and the Funky
You're now listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire.
The podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. Vinyl Esquire with DJ Rip.
Do you wanna dance? Do you wanna rock? Are you willing to take the chance?
Vinyl Esquire.
Now this is the way we wine and dine, and at the same time, mess with your mind. Get down to the funky beat.
If y'all wanna hear us do it again, somebody say yeah! Hold up, somebody say hell yeah! Oh yeah,
Breakout, could you do it right this time for
yeah.
us?
Just take it from the top, Breakout.
Vinyl Esquire.
Party for boys turn out. You be prepared for DJ Breakout. When you come on back, you wanna do it again. You be prepared for DJ back.
Vinyl Esquire.
We're ready for this. Where we just can't miss.
We just can't miss.
Where we just can't miss.
With a beat like this.
Vinyl Esquire. Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music. Would you join me, please, in welcoming DJ Rip?
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, and my name is DJ Rip, and Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. And without further ado, I have the pleasure to interview and to welcome to Vinyl Esquire the legendary DJs, the Brothers Disco. I would say that these gentlemen are a part of the foundation of true hip-hop. I would like to welcome to Vinyl Esquire the legendary DJ Breakout and Baron.
How y'all doing there, man?
How y'all doing?
Breakout and Baron, how are the both of you doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great, man. Trying to stay safe. The world is crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm doing good too.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to allow me to interview you for Vinyl Esquire. So we're going to get right into it. I've always, thought that you two were, unsung, if I may, not mentioned and not given the proper respect and due that you deserve. So I would love to, peel back the layers and get right into your story. Is that cool?
That's great, my brother.
All
That's
right.
okay with me.
All right, cool. So let's get right into it. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Either one of you can start. It's up to you. So I'm going to pose the question to both of you. Who or what made you both want to be DJs to begin with?
Me, DJ Kool Herc. I moved from Harlem in 1972 to the Bronx. I lived on Undercliff Avenue. Kool Herc lived on Cedric Avenue. Well, who introduced me to Kool Herc was my older brother, Dimitri, who used to hang with Kool Herc and Coke LaRock. We used to go to house parties together. Herc and Coke used to play ball together, including with my brother Dimitri. And then, from house party to house party, Herc was always a collector of records. So one day his sister gave a community center party at the building where he lived was 1520 Cedric Avenue. And then I was just a roadie helping them move equipment. So that's how I used to get in the parties for free. So, I used to hang with her, go to this party. He went from community center to clubs. So he went to, the Hero, the club Breakout,
Executive Playhouse.
Executive Playhouse. Mm-hmm. And I used to help her move his equipment from here to there. Mm-hmm. And then what made me meet Breakout is when I was denied entry to the club because I was late from helping Herc move his equipment. Even though I didn't get paid, but to get in the clubs, he just had to help out. So one day I was going to the club. I was tired of not getting it for free because that was my entry, helping him move equipment. So I got tired of it. I sat outside one day and I said I had enough of this. And Kimani, my brother under me, was doing karate with Breakout. So he said he knew somebody uptown. So he took me uptown and me and Breakout was introduced through my brother Kimani. And that's history from there. We started collecting equipment. I had the good equipment. Breakout has some toy equipment.
Wow.
But he had equipment. He had stuff, but I was the guy that improved the stuff that he had.
Yeah, I had the B-boy records.
You had a little something, but you didn't. I was hanging with Herc, so I was the beat finder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Herc used to always cover his records. Always.
Wow.
So I made a lot of mistakes going to the record stores, humming the beat, and I used to make mistakes, but eventually I collected the records. It was a thrill to find out that's the record he played, and it was a thrill to know that I finally unmasked the records that Herc was trying to cover up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So before you go any further, so that's you, Baron. So Breakout.
That's me.
What made you want to be a DJ?
Okay, back in the days, I was a B-boy first. So I used to get records, like go to downstairs records, find some of the record like Yellow Sunshine, run in my basement, practice how to dance, how to B-boy, and then me and my man Mark Fisher, we tried to bring the equipment to the schoolyard. I took my mother's equipment apart, took it to the schoolyard, broke into the school to get power, and then I heard about Bam Bottom. This guy named Bam Bottom from Bronxville, he got all the records, all the music. I started going around there, breakdancing. And I heard Herc used to make me play hooky from school, the breakdance and the sparkle. And just kept breakdancing, and before you know it, I met Baron. Like Baron said, that was history after that.
Okay. So talk to me about the beginnings, right? So what part of the Bronx are y'all from?
I'm from uptown, Baron from the west side. But all our party was uptown. We control the whole uptown. And all like 4 or 5 of the main DJs, Herc, Flash, Theodore, all of them had different parts of the Bronx. We had the whole uptown on lock. Theodore had Boston Road, Flash had Forest Projects, and Herc had the west side. So we had everything on lock.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so
but I'm from the west side. I used to live 2 blocks away from Herc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Breakout's from North Bronx. Like I said before, my brother introduced me from Breakout doing karate, so that's how we collaborated together and became a crew known as the Brothers Disco.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we started playing in PS55, PS63, Valley Park, Boston Road, Edenmore Projects. That's when we started playing in the beginning. That's what really made us took off.
Got you. So you would say, what year would you say that you two came together and started DJing together as the Brothers Disco? What year would that be?
1977. Yeah, we used to DJ around Breakout's father's block, where it was on Jefferson Avenue, or right off of Boston Road.
But the Brothers Disco came in later. Everybody used to say we're going to DJ Breakout party, but it wasn't a Brothers Disco yet.
No, not yet.
It was just Breakout. It was a Breakout party. But when we went on tour, I went on tour with the Funky Four, and then that's when we came back. They changed the name to Brothers Disco.
Got you.
You remember Boston Secor? That's where the Brothers Disco formed. Boston Secor. I bought Raheem, and there was no Funky Four. It used to be the voice of KK. KK was our first MC.
You right? The Raheem Shah came later.
Yeah, I was the reason Raheem got down with me, because all the the wannabe MCs, they was only catering to Breakout, and I was pissed. I said, I'm going to bring in a secret weapon. I'm going to bring in my own MC.
Okay.
And Raheem used to run around with the Infinity Machine. What's DST crew name on Breakout?
DST.
I think they were the Infinity Rappers or something like that, right?
Right. Anyway,
how you know, man? Yeah, how you know?
I know a little bit.
Shaheem used to live 2 blocks, 1 building away from me. I used to live in the house. Shaheem lived in the building, 1655 Undercliff. And they brought Raheem to my house. And when I heard Raheem's flow, he had a storytelling flow. So I said, okay, all MCs want to rap for Breakout when he played. Nobody wanted to rap for me. So I brought Raheem to the Boston Seco, the battle with Aaron and Leo, and it was history from there. So that's how where the Funky Four became a group at the battle between Aaron and Leo and the mighty Sasquatch. Because Aaron and Leo they went on first. They chests were pumped and Breakout. I don't know if you was playing first or whatever.
I got first. I think that's very late.
Yeah, and you couldn't hear these guys anymore. It was like
wow.
They had like a boom box compared to the Sasquatch.
Okay,
and
so
that's why we had speakers in the garbage cans.
Okay, so hold on, gentlemen, hold on. Okay, so I wanna define this. I want to narrow this down a little bit because here's what I want to do. I want to quickly paint the picture and fill in the blanks of this hip hop story that has been told. Right? You know, of course, we all understand the father, Kool Herc. And then, you know, we have Bambaataa and we have Grandmaster Flash.
Yes.
I want to quickly define where does Breakout and Baron fit in the grand scheme of the foundation and the beginnings of what we now call hip hop. Okay?
Herc was first, right, Baron? Who was second? I mean, I think us and Flash are about the same. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, who was first? It was Kool Herc and Bambaataa.
Right.
I was affiliated with Kool Herc because I used to help him move his equipment. So I was on Herc's side, and Bambaataa was on another side. There was a famous battle in Monroe High School, and Herc battled African Bambaataa. It was just the two of them. I didn't know nothing about Grandmaster Flash then, but the biggest people was Kool Herc and African Bambaataa.
They're the biggest, yeah.
Gotcha.
They were the biggest, and this is before me and Breakout got together.
So
I was a Kool Herc fan, and I guess Breakout was a Bambaataa fan because he used like he said, he used to be b-boy at Bambaataa parties.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So you would say your inspiration and the reason why you became a DJ, Baron, was Kool Herc, and Breakout, yours would be Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah, and Bambaataa had the most records you ever seen in your life.
Wow. Okay, cool. All right. So now
and Herc had the system.
Yep, Herc had the system.
Now
Herc had the system.
Right. So you two started, you would say mid-70s. Is that an accurate time frame?
77.
Talk to me about your sound system. I understand you were known for having a sound system, and you moved around the Bronx a lot and doing these events. I know you mentioned the Funky Four. I don't want to get to that yet. But talk to me about your sound system and how you moved around and made a name for yourself.
Okay, let me see. We started out with Breakout sound system. He had some funny looking speakers that had some white caulk on it. It was a little amateur looking thing, but we didn't have sound, but that's what we started out with. And then what made us graduate, I knew a Jamaican kid that lived across the street from us. So I had him build some subs, which we'll call electric voice eliminators. So now we had some subs, but they wasn't good enough. But they were, that was a start of us building our system. Then I was a messenger that went all over the city, and I was always into club sound. So I used to collect club magazines. So I found a system in a discotheque magazine. They had an ad. Breakout's brother had a college tuition money. So we bridged together with Breakout's brother, and we bought a sound system from a magazine. And the magazine had the garbage can speakers, the ass kicker speakers. And we bought all this stuff from a magazine called Discotheque Magazine. And to make things, very interesting were these garbage can speakers. Nobody ever seen these speakers before. And that's what made us have the Mighty Mighty Sasquatch.
But let me say something. The first party that made us really get off our feet is when we played against Bambaataa in Evander Child High School.
That's what we bought. That's where we got our power from. You know, we got blown away. Well, Disco King Mario, I don't know if you ever heard of him. Anyway, we used to have bass guitar amp speakers. All us DJs, including Bambaataa. Well, Bambaataa had a secret weapon for us. We was playing back and forth in Evander High School. This was a Jazzy D event. You know, we booked the school. Anyway, it was our party, and we battled Bambaataa. And then one day, that night, Mario bought a power amp. See, nobody really knows too much about Mario, but he was a disco king. Anyway, he gave Bambaataa a power amp. So we was playing first, and then Bambaataa played. But the second time Bambaataa came on, we were still playing, and he blew us out of the water. I mean, you couldn't hear us no more.
Wow. Okay.
But that party set it straight for Brothers Disco, because after that party, we had a ton of money, right, Breakout?
Yeah.
And we went shopping.
And we came home from the party. I never seen so many dollar bills in my life. We was counting that money from 2 o'clock to like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So would you say by 77 is when y'all got, together? So would you say, I mean, it obviously it happened quickly. Would you say by 78, you were all over the Bronx and everybody knew Breakout and Baron?
Yes. Yeah, so we were doing boat rides. We were doing everything, playing in projects. And we played in Edenmore projects for a while.
Yeah, that was our stomping ground. Edenmore project.
Then we were with the T Connection and tore that shit up. Then we went to 226th Street in White Plains Road. We was playing there every weekend. Like, we was booked, like, from, you could say, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every weekend.
So what was your role, Breakout, versus Barron's in this two DJ collective? What was the difference between the two of you when y'all played?
Because we don't ever play each other records. I played B-boy records. Barron was playing, like, hustling music back then.
And I was the sound man.
Yeah,
I was the sound man. I had multiple jobs, putting the system together and DJing.
I never put the system
together. Breakout was like
star.
He wanted to be the star, but I was the man all night long. Breakout had this, a set, come in and DJ and then walk off.
Got you. Okay. All right. So now talk to me about the Funky 4+1. How did the group and Baron, you touched on it a little bit earlier. So now let's talk about it, because you got Kool Herc and the Herculoids and Coke La Rock. And I'm sure he had other people. Then you had Bambaataa with the Soul Sonic Force, right? And help me along here. You had Grandmaster Flash and the three and the 3 MCs. Then it became the 4 MCs. Then it was the Furious 5. So so talk to me about how did the Funky 4+1 become your MCs, and how did that group come about?
That was Boston Seacall. We used to have a lot of MCs, even Breakout's girlfriend wanted to be MC. Everybody got on stage. Then Breakout's best friend, Richie T, not affiliated with the T Connection, but Richie T. Everybody was trying out as MCs. And then even Sha was down, Sha Rock was a part of the girls before there was a Sisters Disco. No, there was a Sisters Disco. Yeah, first. There was a Sisters Disco first. Everybody trying out to be MCs. But
I think there was second showers before the Sisters Disco, and then all the girls from Edenmore, because they used to be out like part about security to check the woman. And we had Edenmore crew by security had Boss Road together. We brought both of them together. That made the crew real bad. A lot of people was playing like Far Rockaway. You go out there, play the center, right? It was get buses, and you would take the buses way out there and ride back with equipment in it. We played in Brooklyn Bridge. One time we played in Brooklyn Bridge
We had to take our equipment on the train.
We took our equipment on the train and go all the way down to Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow. So once again, the Funky 4+1. You know, you got Raheem, you got Sha Rock, and by the way, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sha Rock is the first female of hip hop culture.
Yes,
she was a B girl before she rhymed too, right?
She was.
Wow.
Funky 4 came a lot of transformation. First, it was the Funky 4, and then
KK first, Keith.
First, voice of KK.
Yeah, first KK, then was Keith.
And then we put together the Funky 4. Now there was issues with Raheem and Sha. We was at PAL, and they quit. So when they quit, we had to get other MCs. So after Raheem left, he went over to the Furious 5, which wasn't a good deal for him, but he did go. And we were constantly doing parties, and we had an emergency tryout for another two members because we lost 2 members. Right, Breakout?
Yeah. On my birthday at 118 Park.
Exactly. And then KK introduced me to Rodney and Jazzy Jeff. And we had a tryout at my house. But here's a thing that a lot of people don't know. Treacherous 3, what's his name from Treacherous 3? Special K. Special K tried out before Rodney and Jeff. I didn't like Special K because his rhymes was all over the place. And I kind of like it. I say, you got to do a little bit more practicing, come back when you get your stuff together.
Okay.
And then KK brought over Rodney and Jeff. And Rodney had a similar flow like Raheem. So they was hired on the spot.
And then that's when it was Funky 4, and then Sha made the +1.
Yeah, she came back.
Wow. Okay. So now it's the Funky 4+1 with DJ Breakout and Baron, or was it DJ Breakout and Baron and the Funky 4+1?
DJ Breakout and Baron, not Baron and Breakout.
No. Whoa. Back up. See, listen, I had another brother, Kimani. He used to make flyers before Jazzy D got our famous Buddy Esquire flyer man. A few flyers, because it was my brother, my family member. It used to be Baron and Breakout.
There's probably 2 flyers out there like that.
It used to be Baron and Breakout.
Okay.
And then we hired Breakout's brother as manager, and we found Buddy Esquire, and things flipped because now I wasn't in charge anymore, and Breakout's brother Jazzy D was in charge. So instead of it being Baron, because I was just 1 syllable, Breakout was more outstanding because he had 2 syllables. Breakout. And his name was a little longer. So I made an agreement, okay, Breakout and Baron. But my secret weapon was to put the Brothers Disco on top. So I had to be back up, but they didn't know I was still on top because of the invention of the Brothers Disco.
Yeah.
So I let Breakout be first, but in secrecy, I was still first because to the name, the Brothers Disco.
Right.
How you like that? How you like the map with Breakout?
No, we was fighting about this all the time, man.
It's all good. It's okay. It's all good. I love it because I love to get to, I love to hear the history. So where does the names come from? Where does DJ Breakout and Baron come from?
Baron, that's my name. That's my given name.
Okay.
Baron.
Now Breakout, you remember that game called Breakout?
Yes.
It's a game called Breakout, and I used to ride on the trains and the buses. My name was T63, and another one when I broke my leg when I was breakdancing, they called me Crip. I asked my man, God bless the dead, Dr. Rock. I said, Dr. Rock, these 3 names here, pick one. I got to call myself. We said, call yourself Breakout. I said, I want to make that shit famous. You watch me. I want to make it famous.
Wow.
And when Buddy Esquire started putting it on my pants, and my jacket. They were on my dune buggy. Had that on the side of the dune buggy, and it took off from there, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
he had a dope. Well, he had a dope graffiti artist on name put on his pants, Breakout, with a hammer, breaking bricks. It was really dope.
That took off.
wow. Okay. So Breakout, you were a graffiti writer, or you were a writer?
Yeah.
You were a b-boy and a DJ.
Yeah.
He was a toy writer, because this is new to me. I never even heard of this.
Oh wow.
I'm hearing this now.
I was a junior in high school, man. I had a uni-Y, had a pilot writing on the buses, but I never got on the outside of the train. I ain't trying to kill myself.
Yeah, it was a toy.
Yeah,
There's a toy writers and there's some real serious writers. Breakout was a toy.
I wasn't like Comic, Ajax, and Stay High and all of them. They the best.
Okay.
They
Okay.
the best.
All right. Cool.
I was just like a little private, writing on the train, growing up.
Unnoticeable.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we got Baron. That's your name. Okay. And then and Breakout. We see where that came from. Okay. Great. So DJ Breakout and Baron. All right. So here we are. It's the Funky 4+1. You are all going all around New York. You're performing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing your thing. DJ Breakout and Baron and the Funky 4+1. Now, talk to me about the records. How did the Enjoy Records and Sugar Hill deal happen for Funky 4+1?
Oh,
hold up.
Robinson got him first.
Yeah, but we Breakout was famous because of the DJ part. Now it flipped the script when it went from the streets to vinyl. Oh my God. And the MCs were like, ha ha ha, we got you now.
They don't need us no more.
They didn't need us no more. So when it got to vinyl, we were like nobody. So that's when all the DJs became second tier instead of first tier, and they had to hire us.
But the whole thing is, we used to pay the MCs. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now, when me and Flash was on tour, I never forget that. We was in the back talking and said, we started this shit. Now, they want to pay us. Because, see, when they start making records, they ain't need no DJ. So all they need is the band to make the music or do the music, and what a DJ gonna do? Nothing. So then they start paying us. So then me and Flash, we was on tour. Don't forget. Fuck this shit, man. I'm not doing nothing no more. We went on our own. That's why a lot of groups broke up.
Wow. Okay. So unfortunately, you had no involvement in any of the Funky 4 records. Is that correct?
Right. But Flash them stuck together. I say Flash name all the time. Like Flash 2 times. The Funky 4, they'll say your name like once or twice in a record. They was more united. They always push Flash. And the Funky 4 want to push themselves. So where did that, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. Where did that put your relationship? Because obviously we're talking about the late 70s going into the 80s now, right? Where did that put your relationship as the DJs and the group? So it came to a part like this. They go, we going on tour, the Sugar Hill Gang. I said, okay. They sit down and talk to me and said, we'll pay you to go. That's all you do is go on stage with us. We're going to pay you. Because Sylvia Robinson wasn't paying the DJ. So they needed a DJ because they know they couldn't pay for the band. So I go back there, play the records for them, and they just pay me.
Breakout.
Yeah.
Let me stop. Did you know they asked me first? I had a 9 to 5. I had a 9 to 5. Me and your brother were revolt. We're not getting down with this. We're not getting down with this because we knew Sylvia's reputation with the moment. We knew her reputation of how she dealt with artists on her label. That's why me and Donnell never agreed to get down on this contract.
Well, I did. I got paid.
I know.
I know. Paid at the same time.
But I had a 9 to 5. I took it as temporary employment.
Yeah. I was doing construction, so I took off.
Right.
So that means that when the Funky 4 went on tour, Breakout, you went with them. Is that right?
Right. Exactly.
Got you. And how long did that last for you, Breakout?
Ooh, I'll say about a year or two. But we was playing all over, man. We was playing, like I said, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we go home for Monday, Tuesday, go right back out again. Because we were on tour with Sugar Hill Gang. I was on tour with Slave, Sky, Cameo, a lot of people I'm missing out. That's when Wayne and Charlie was on tour with us. We was all over the world, man.
Wow.
And the Funky Four was dealt a rough deal. Now, talk about what's that white girl name?
Debbie Harry.
Oh man, see, Funky Four could have been more famous than they were if they ever got down with Deborah. And Breakout could talk about that.
Yeah, that's when we was playing in White Street all the way downtown. That's when the men and women was going to the same bathroom. That started back years ago. And we playing until Debbie Harry, right? Yeah. She came and said, y'all want to be on Saturday Night Live?
Right,
I
right.
said, what? I said, TV, Saturday Night Live? She was, yeah. I'm giving a show. I'm going to invite y'all. I said, you serious? So that day we went on there on Valentine's Day. Matter of fact, last Valentine's Day made 40 years since we've been on there.
Wow.
We was the first rap group on TV.
Absolutely. And that's the first time, me being a kid from the Midwest, I'm a DJ, but I didn't start till, about 84. Me being a kid, young kid from the Midwest, that's the first time I saw hip hop on television. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The first rap group I've ever been on TV, man. I was like, whoa. But that really got us out the whole too. Was, so everybody's watching it.
Right.
So we were still giving parties. We were still going, we're going to be on Saturday Night Live. Man, make sure you tune in. Yeah, from there we did it.
So where does the Brothers Disco come into the mix here?
Oh, Brothers Disco was from the beginning.
Okay, got it.
From the beginning, our name was the Brothers Disco.
I think the first quarter was just Breakout and Baron, and then the Brothers Disco came in after the first quarter. After we got everybody, all the security, after we got the security together, then it became Brothers Disco. Because we was pay everybody. The payroll was getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay, gotcha.
So we had to pay security. We had to pay for the van. We had no van. We got to pay for the Sister Disco where they be checking people. We played in Stevenson High School. We played in Truman. Everything, man. Lehman.
We played all over. We played in all over the city, in every borough. We played more places before this really took off publicly. We played thanks to Jazzy D. We played everywhere compared to all the other groups.
And I think Lehman was one of the best parties I liked it because it used to be a basketball game. And after the basketball game, they open up the other side and we'd be ready and everybody be there already. You gotta wait for a party start, 10 people come in, 5 people come in. It was packed. The time we opened the doors, 1, 2, 1, 2, we started rocking.
Wow. Okay.
Fabulous, man.
So Brothers Disco, DJ Breakout and Baron obviously was happening at the same time. New York. Here comes the record deals. The Funky 4+1 does a deal with Enjoy and then ends up signing to Sugar Hill. Here comes the records. You go on tour. Now, clearly, there was somewhere where it ended for the Funky 4+1. But
okay, this is how I ended. I'm going to tell you how I ended.
Go ahead.
We're doing parties, right? Say I'm with the Funky 4, and you want to give a party. So you'll go to Jeff. Say, listen, I got a party for you. Yeah, where? I'm playing downtown. How much? $150 a man. Okay. I'm not saying Jeff did it. I'm just saying names. Jeff will come back and tell us, we got a party to do. Where? Downtown. How much they paying? $100 a man. So people start getting shiesty, man, doing sneaky shit. They arguing. Raheem was arguing. Not Raheem. Rodney didn't trust nobody. He didn't like Jeff no more, and the group just broke up, man. And we tried to get back together. They started arguing about some shit that happened a long time ago. I said, this ain't gonna never work out again, man.
Okay.
And they left the label. That's how they Rodney and KK started their own thing, right? They left the label. That's how Rodney and KK started their own thing.
Call themselves Double Trouble, so they said, we do our own thing.
Right.
They were playing Double Trouble, but they were still riding under the Funky 4+1.
So
that's when that movie came out. They did that Double Trouble sitting on the stoops.
Right, Wild Style, and that was my next question. Was okay. So now we got Wild Style. Okay, so Funky 4+1 breaks up. So now we're in about 80, early 80s, right? And now here comes Wild Style, and then here comes Beat Street, right?
So Beat Street gave it Us Girls with Shara, Lisa Lee, and Debbie D, right? Debbie D.
Right.
They call that stuff Us Girls. So Star went her own way, and everybody went their own way. You know, because the group was falling apart. It was just falling apart, you know.
So where did that put Breakout and Baron at this time with Wild Style, with half the group going over here, it's Double Trouble, and then Sha Rock is going on her own? Where did that put Breakout and Baron at around this time with Wild Style and in the midst of Beat Street?
But we kept working in our job.
Yeah, I never stopped working.
I never stopped working.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on tour. The group asked me, they said, what you want to do? You want to go back to work or you want to stay with us? I looked at them. Go back to work, man. I said, wax melts, my brother. I'm going back to work.
Okay. So you're saying that the whole time that this was happening from the late 70s to, mid 80s, you guys kept day jobs the whole time that you were helping build this foundation of hip hop.
Yeah, I retired construction 35 years. I retired about 8 years ago.
Wow. And you Baron the same thing?
Baron's still working.
I'm still working.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
At one time, there was no mighty Sasquatch. And I had to build a Sasquatch back from one turntable.
They did.
I built it from one turntable because I started hanging with my best friend I used to know from Harlem. And I used to dream because I used to run all over the city making deliveries with a truck. I'm a truck driver. And I used to go to with the Rock and Soul Records, look at all the equipment they got up in there. And right now, that's how the Mighty Sasquatch is still rocking the city till this day. If you have a friend of mine on Facebook, you'll see the Mighty Sasquatch. If you ever go to YouTube and type in Turbo Sound TMS4s, you see my page, the Mighty Sasquatch. And that's this is where we got the best sound you ever want to hear till this day.
Absolutely. Well, the mighty Sasquatch in itself, it's legendary, right?
Yeah, it's a devil legend. And then back in the days, there's only a couple people had sounds. It was Cool Herc, Brothers Disco, Flash. They didn't have no real sound like we did, but Flash had the beatbox. So, that was keeping them alive. But, and our brothers, they had all right sound, but we had a powerful sound.
We had the cleanest sound you ever want to hear.
And we learned that from Herc.
To this day.
Wow.
And then Baron, every time Baron got paid, he'd been making another piece of equipment. I said, yo, man, we gonna start buying all this shit. Every week he come in, look what I got. I got bought these speakers.
Wow.
I said, yo, man, we got a crazy set. Man. We had the best set out there, man.
So I learned sound from going to clubs in the Village in Midtown. I know you heard of Paradise Garage.
Yes, sir.
My dream was to build a stack like the Paradise Garage. That's what guys did. That's what sets us from all the rest. I knew club sound. So that's why my sound was always unique from everybody else's sound, because I used to just hang around the big clubs, stuff that go through your body. And that was my dream of having our sound go through everybody's body. That's why the Mighty Sasquatch still stands today.
Yes, absolutely. So, and again, it's legendary, and it sounds amazing. So, what changed for Breakout and Baron as the records continued to come out? The '80s and hip hop grew. From the '80s into the '90s. What changed? Did you keep DJing, or did you just stop DJing and just go to work, or did you just keep moving? What changed for you?
No, I stopped for a couple of years, and I'm not ashamed. The drug scene came out during the '80s, and that really shuts things down for a few years. And then I came back in '95 and started building my sound system back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped for a couple of years, and Chuck Chillot made me get back on again. Chuck Chillot said, yo, man, he said, I used to watch you, man. He said, yo, you got to play music, man.
Right.
I said, for real? So I went and dug in the basement, got my turntables out the dirt, brought them back up. I got turntables down. I got controllers. I got everything. I love music, my man. 45 King was my record boy.
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, 45 King started out with us, the Brothers Disco, before he started out with anybody else.
Wow.
We blew him up first.
Yeah, he was my record boy.
Wow, that's amazing. Who else, if you don't mind, who else did you work with throughout hip hop that people just might not know about?
Well, Flyer King. I don't know if you ever heard of Buddy Esquire. We started him out.
Absolutely.
And then he started making flyers for everybody.
Got you. Okay. So Buddy Esquire, 45 King, Sha Rock, the Double Trouble, right? Raheem. I mean, it's endless legends that has seemed to have come from the Breakout and Baron camp.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what kept Breakout and Baron busy all these years? I mean, it's 2021 now, and again, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you. But and because once again, my point on all of this is I feel like Breakout and Baron have been left out of the equation, either for a reason or not, whatever.
Oh, trust me. To this day, you got friends that look up to you, but hate you in the background. To this day, we have peers that love and hate you at the same time. Am I right? Am I right, Breakout?
Oh, you're definitely right.
We have jealousy to this day, and we're almost on the cane stage, walking in canes. To this day, we still have people that love and hate you.
So
one thing about it, we were still playing until the Corona came. We were doing a parade.
Yeah. We were still until the virus came.
Right.
We were still doing it.
Every year, summer we had everything on lock, man. But now, the world is different now, my man.
Right. Absolutely. So why do you feel, in your opinions, that you're omitted or just not mentioned in the hip hop story like you should be? Why do you think that is?
There's still envy. It's still envy out there. That's my analogy.
But some people get the mic. They think about themselves a lot. They won't mix in our group or something. They think it was just them. Flash. He says my name sometimes. But Hurt sometimes he might say, he might not. But that's how it go, man. They get the mic. They won't just think about all of them, about them.
Right. And some people try to get the timeline wrong, try to take themselves back until the early 70s. For example, I moved to the Bronx when I was 14 years old. And you have people, this is 72, you have people that's going before that time. So how old were you, 10? When you got into hip hop? And then you got to check people's timeline. You got to figure out the truth, because there's a lot of half truths out there. And if you do your homework, you got to figure out their timeline, their age. So how could you do what you say you do and you was this age? Some people claim they was this age and they were really like 6 years old or 7. How could you really be this and the timeline is totally wrong? So if you don't do your homework, when you get information from people, it's a lot of tricks around here.
That's why you gotta say, we say old school. What old school you from? Firstary or secondary? It's 2 different old schools. And who else came out of that camp was Tony Tone.
Tony Tone. Yeah, he was. You're right, Breakout. Tony Tone from the Cold Crush Brothers was a part of Brothers Disco first.
And he told me he's gonna form his own group.
Okay.
Because me and him used to go to Stevenson together. So, he used to work for me, hooking up my speakers and stuff and doing that. He said, Breakout, man, I'm about to form my own group. I said, get out of here. I said, what you gonna name it? I said, the Cold Crush. I said, go ahead, brother, do your thing.
Right.
And he did a great job with that, man. He did a great job, man.
Yeah. But the routine thing started out with the Funky Four. Yes. We were famous with the routines and the storytelling, and everybody mimicked after us, and then that's where it really took off.
And we played with Fantasia.
We were the first with routines.
Remember Fantasia, Baron, and Queens? We played with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So again, this is the reason why I wanted to break this down, because I still feel like you don't get the credit you deserve. And when you talk about the foundation, so Herc really didn't have a group or famous MCs, right? So then,
he had to catch up.
Right.
He just had a DJ crew.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, Clark Kent, Timmy Tim. But it was Kool Herc and Coco Rock. And then came Clark Kent and Timmy Tim. Clark Kent was a B-boy too.
Yep.
And this is
he was a B-boy before he was a DJ.
Right. This is the original Clark Kent, right?
The original Clark Kent. You know, before there was breakdancing, it was burning. You know, people would burn each other, and then the breakdancing name came to be. You know, but it was burning people at the beginning.
Right. So then Bambaataa had the Soul Sonic Force with Lisa Lee and everyone else, right?
Lisa Lee. But Lisa Lee, they had to get somebody to rival us. It was Shah Rock first. So Bambaataa to compete, he had to get a girl MC too. So that's where Lisa Lee came into play.
And who am I missing from Bambaataa's camp? Because it was before
Jazzy J.
Yes.
Red Alert.
Yes, of course. Right, absolutely. So again, you had Zulu Nation. You had Bambaataa. He had his rappers, his MCs, and he had his other DJs. And so now we're talking about DJ Breakout and Baron with the funky.
DJ Islam too was Baron.
Yeah. Africa Islam too is a Bambaataa camp.
Yes, absolutely. And you got Breakout and Baron with the Funky 4+1, which KK Rockwell. You got Shah Rock. You got Raheem, who was originally there. Who am I? Oh, Jazzy Jeff, right?
Yeah. Rodney and Jeff came after Shah Rock and Raheem left.
Absolutely. Okay, great. So then, of course, you got Flash with the 3 MCs, then the 4 MCs, then becoming the Furious 5, right?
Yeah, after Raheem left, yeah.
So now, would you say that those are the 4 true pillars of hip-hop?
Yeah, it was us. We battled all over. And then you get the second tier with, you got Theodore. See, Theodore, he invented the scratch. So L Brothers, they did their own thing. But, the star of that group was ran with the Theodore.
Right.
We came into their own territories, which was 63 Park, and that was the biggest crowd they ever had over there. Yeah, but we was in enemy territory. They started throwing rocks at the Brothers Disco off the roof. You remember that, Breakout? They started throwing rocks off the roof because we came into their house and had the biggest crowd ever.
Wow. So we mentioned a lot of people in this interview, right? And I was just trying to, paint the picture of some of the things that are left out of the story. So is there anyone who should get an honorary mention that comes from this foundation that we didn't mention?
No, I think we got everybody covered.
I know, Baron, you had mentioned Disco King Mario earlier, right?
Oh, well, Mario was in the same position like Herc. He was from the Soundview area.
He's from Bronx.
The Chuck City crew. And he
from Bronxdale.
Bronxdale. Yeah, exactly. And he was the guy with the power amps. He had more power than anybody. But he stayed in a certain part of the Bronx. He didn't get all over the Bronx like we did.
Gotcha.
But Disco King Mario was like unsung. But he was up there with Herc and Bambaataa, but he only stayed in one area.
Right.
Yeah, very nice system.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I do also know that there's been I've heard other names like a DJ Smoke or, of course, Hollywood, just trying to paint the picture, a Lovebug Starsky, just trying to paint the picture of that first era of what
I call those guys a one-man band because like Hollywood, he MCs and he plays records at the same time. Just like Lovebug Starsky, the same thing. They're a one-man band. So we had a group.
Right.
They're like they're going to do a party all by themselves. But Hollywood's in 371. He rocked the whole 371 with no group. Just him and the mic and the records. And he's still doing that today.
Right.
That's my brother-in-law, matter of fact, too, man.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. We got kids by the same sisters.
Wow,
I
interesting.
don't know how that shit happened. I don't know how that happened, but
Right. Well, salute to Hollywood and all the legends.
Yeah, Hollywood's my man. Hollywood's my man.
So what is DJ Breakout and Baron working on now? What do you have any current projects coming out? Books, films? What can we come to expect from Breakout and Baron?
I'm still playing music. I'm just waiting for a show to come up.
And I'm still doing sound. I'm a sound man.
Yeah, and this shit gonna break sooner or later. Gotta be ready for it when it do break. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Let me clarify. I'm a sound reinforcement guy, so I do sound right now.
Gotcha.
So anywhere people need sound, they hire us.
The mighty Sasquatch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to hear my sound like it, you can go onto my channel, and you just the best way to look for it is TMS Forwards.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
you'll see Baron C come up, and you'll see my sound.
And we just had a battle last year?
2018.
We just had a battle.
Yeah, you see that battle on my page.
Dope.
We did a big battle in Mount Vernon.
Wow. Incredible. So Breakout and Baron, listen, you've been mentioned in countless hip-hop records. You've been mentioned in documentaries. And you're obviously a very important part of hip-hop history and the foundation of what we call the hip-hop culture. What would you say is your legacy? What would you say, in your opinion, is Breakout and Baron's legacy?
Our legacy, well, we were the first to do everything with first on the front of our name.
Okay.
That's our legacy.
My legacy.
We did a lot of things first, and people followed and took it to another level.
My legacy, we're the first group that had speakers in garbage cans. We're the first group that had the first female MC, Sharrock. And we had a big crew.
We were organizations. We even had applications to join the group.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me say this. The first isn't always a bad person to be. It's not a bad place to be, right? So with that being said, Breakout and Baron, can you give me, before we get out of here, can you give me one untold story from your past? Something that, people may not know that may have happened in the journey of DJ Breakout and Baron.
I give you one story. See, the streets is ugly. I used to be out in the streets, and that's how my sound system got bigger, faster than anybody. And the street guys from Harlem used to call me Sharrock. Because Sharrock was so famous, instead of calling me DJ Baron, they called me Sharrock. Sharrock, give me another tape, Sharrock. My name wasn't Baron in the streets. They called me Sharrock. Because they knew, because she was her name was so famous. Instead of calling me Baron, the people in the streets in Harlem called me Sharrock.
Wow.
True story.
Wow.
Give me another tape, Sharrock. They knew my name, but Sharrock's name was much easier, and her name was much famous. So everybody I knew in the streets, they called me Sharrock, even though that's not my name.
Right. So the first time y'all heard Sharrock rhyme, what did you feel when you found her, or however that happened? Was it? And the reason why I'm saying this is because you brought that up because clearly those tapes moved around all of New York. They moved around the whole country. You know what I mean? And everybody got inspired. And I remember talking to DMC one time, and he was telling me when he heard Sharrock rhyme, it made him want to rhyme. Right. So clearly she was that inspiration for a lot of young and new MCs. So what when you found her, or when she finally came to be, how did you feel? What was that moment for you?
I guess that her uniqueness was the sweetness of the sound of her voice. That's what's unique about her, was her the tone, her voice tone.
But back
and the
then,
sweetness of it.
But back then, we never know that, we just thought we had a girl. We never know, yeah, she is the first female MC. We didn't think like that. We
didn't think like that, no.
We didn't know it was going to take off the way it is now.
Right.
We just thought we just doing a party. It's going to be over.
And giving props to Breakout's brother. He worked the Echo.
Yeah.
And the uniqueness of, the Echo, the way, extending the vocals made us so sounding different from everybody else. Was that echo chamber that we had.
Yes. See, and
I gotta tell you my untold story though, if I forget it.
Okay.
Untold story is
please.
A lot of parties coming up. I seen people dead on the floor, shot, a lot of stuff, man. I remember one time we played at 118 Park in the Bronx, right there on Southern Boulevard. The shinglings on a building across the street. So somebody in the crowd screamed. And if it wasn't for the fence in front of us, they would have tore everything up, man. And then the shinglings came out. They said, who's DJ? I said, I'm the DJ. He said, play the music. I said, nah, he said, play the music. I got this. And we kept playing, man. That was so remarkable how they control that crowd.
Wow.
The Shingling motorcycle team. It was a club. They owned the whole building. They stopped the whole party because somebody just screamed. And people just started running. And that fucking fence saved us, man. They would have tore our equipment up, man.
Wow.
Every time I pass that park, I look at it, I go, If that fence could talk, it'd be something else.
Right. Wow. I mean, these stories are they're iconic, and it's history. And again, this was the reason why I wanted to interview you both, is because again, I don't think you guys get a chance to express, and talk about your true history. You know what I mean? And for whatever it is, if it's hate, the records, the industry. I know some of the legends lasted longer and had more of an impact because they made records, and some of them didn't. You know what I mean? And some were associated with a hit group, and some weren't. You know what I'm saying? So there's dozens of reasons why the story hasn't been told correctly. So I just wanted to talk to both of you to talk about the DJ Breakout in Barron. The real history, because again, I've always believed you were legendary DJs, and, the DJ started hip hop, and there was a lot of people that participated in the creation of what we call hip hop today. Right. So I just wanted to salute the both of you. You know what I mean? And get a chance to talk to both of you.
Right. And we don't do many interviews. And when we do them, we try to set the timeline right and the years right, because some people exaggerate the timeline. Well, you gotta, when you do interviews, you got to investigate the time and where the truth and the half-truth lies. So, that's my end game, just to tell the truth.
Absolutely. So do the both of you still have your record collection?
Well, everything's on computer now, man.
Everything's on computer. I have some records, but not as much as I should have, because some records got destroyed, in unspecified circumstances. But most of before they got destroyed, got them on a hard drive. So all my music,
everything. It's so much better now.
Yeah,
it made DJing so easy now, and that's why so many people's doing it.
Right.
You gotta go look for the record. You just download this. You hear it, you should buy it, go home and get it.
And I possess a lot of before records. I have tapes that's on a hard drive that's out in the streets before vinyl came out.
Right. Absolutely.
I got hundreds of tapes that's on the hard drive too, that will convert from tape to hard drive.
I'm sure the both of you got some gems that are worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot of history behind DJ Breakout and Barron. So listen, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you for Vinyl Esquire. Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. And, humbly, DJ Breakout and Barron, I just want to say I believe that you haven't got your just due, and I'm sure it's coming. So,
I hope so, my brother.
you are a part of hip hop history, and I believe you are, a part of the foundation of this culture.
Yeah. If you have time, look me up on DJ Baron Chappelle on Facebook. You'll find me.
Absolutely. So for our listeners, go ahead and tell them, how they could continue to follow Breakout and Baron.
Either on Twitter, Baron Chappelle, DJ Baron Chappelle on Facebook.
Breakout's on Twitter, DJ Breakout 62 at gmail.com.
All good. Absolutely. Great.
And everybody be safe out there. Everybody be safe. Please be safe.
Absolutely. So once again, I want to thank you both, DJ Breakout and Baron, for allowing me to interview you on Vinyl Esquire. My name is DJ Rip. Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends, and we have had the honor to talk to DJ Breakout and Baron, the Brothers Disco.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music.
On the young female with a little fish, something like this. Come on, young lady, sweet but to miss her be the big surprise for the ladies. She's a man with the mind that'll hit my time. He's a go, crushing, party busting, man with lips to keep the ladies blushing. Winking out, kids to grin. I won't stop, not the sweet fair, come again, through sweet and get down. Rock so that through all the style. In this round to be number one. Don't stop, not the sweet talk, bring your guys, bring your rock, bring the rhythm, with the hands in your eyes. This is from a point like the gold. Check it out, New York, check it out. Young lady, say I wanna go, the girls wanna go, they all wanna go. Come on, hurry up, dog, hurry up. Get the rock there, with the sugar, my cup. And so it's not another go. Fix the place, just start all over to the field for play. Field for play, and I'm a set up like you. You know I'm the side of those right shoes. Every time you need something for a love, huh? And it's just for you, young lady. You can knock it around for 7 times, 10 times. Everybody say, somebody say, Rockwell. Ain't you no back. You don't quit, that's easy, that's fucking me, cause the rhythm of the sound is all you need. Young ladies, rock the house, to all the young ladies, rock the house, y'all. I'm in the house, making history. Somebody say, rock the sea. And you know, I'm in the house, I got finesse. Everybody say, jazzy jam. And you know that.